Good morning. Welcome to Hindu Newspaper Analysis, 13th November 2022. Voters in Himachal brave cold snow to record 73.6% polling. Abraham Lincoln mentioned elections belong to the people, it's their decision. You have to understand that elections in democracy are vital and even important also. We have to salute to these people who even moved against these harsh climatic conditions for voting. However, it is still less when you compare with the last years, but still it is a bravest thing by the people. Next, MBBS in Hindi lost in translation. There are some concerns raised over MBBS in bilingual teaching. We are well aware that Madhya Pradesh and recently Uttarakhand even began the bilingual textbooks. Local expertise knowledge, availability of translators at the same time, the training for the professors is one of the important thing. Then how these people trained in Hindi or expertise in Hindi can serve people in non-Hindi areas. Some concerns are rising. Let us wait and watch for the next developments. Next, Tirupati's megalithic burial sites in a state of neglect. If you come across from last few days, we are coming with different articles talking about major tourist positions in India, but they are not picking up the correct attention from the governments. It is well noted that 12th Planning Commission even mentioned that tourism can alleviate poverty. So on that note, we have to work out on this tourism preservation and conservation. Now let us see megalithic burial sites in Tirupati. If you understand what is megalithic site is a place where you find large stones either underground or covered by mound, usually consist of long corridors or grave pillars. Now this is a typical structure existed from prehistoric time, and Tirupati had 2005 years old dolomite megalithic site, which is an interesting thing. Next article, India supports ASEAN-centrality in Indo-Pacific region. It is well noted that Indo-Pacific from Indian point of view defined in Shangri-La dialogue by Prime Minister Modi ji as Indo-Pacific region includes every country within the geography and countries having stakes in the Indo-Pacific region. It also mentioned that Indo-Pacific region is for progress, prosperity and peace. Recently, we have ASEAN Summit, Association of Southeast Asian Nations. If you see the origin of ASEAN, it was established in 1967 with Bangkok Declaration. Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand are the founding members. And later it expanded its membership, and finally in 1999, we found almost 10 countries in the ASEAN countries. And these countries, the other countries are Brunei, Vietnam, Laos, Myanmar and Cambodia. 10 countries ASEAN is one of the largest regional blocking in the world, and we have ASEAN in different segments. For example, ASEAN Political Security Community, ASEAN Economic Community, ASEAN Socio-Cultural Community. Not very much important for us to understand the structures of ASEAN community. But what is important is ASEAN even later expanded to conduct its relations with other countries. One most important thing is we need to understand ASEAN is an example for supranational authority in international relations. Supranational authority meaning is the countries, let us say 5 or 10 countries, they will join together and they will create a new authority. And that ASEAN indicates the first supranational authority. The other example can we see from European Union. Now this ASEAN works on the motto of one vision, one identity, one community. August 8th is considered to be ASEAN Day also. The secretariat located in Indonesia, Jakarta. India began its process of integration with ASEAN after during its LPG reforms. During the time of LPG reforms, 1996, we started ASEAN Dialogues, ASEAN Regional Forum in which India became a partner, and 2002, we began summit level meetings. Finally, India and ASEAN are celebrated 25 years of their relationship in 2018, and even 2018, ASEAN countries are the chief guest for our Republic Day parade. We will discuss other issues in the coming days. Let us wait for the summit, completion of the summit, and then in the coming days we will have a comprehensive analysis. Next, teacher shortage at Eklavya Schools will be fixed soon. It is well noted that Eklavya Schools are residential schools dedicated for tribal students. Unfortunately, they are facing several difficulties. One among them is lack of teachers or shortage of teachers. Important topic in General Studies Paper 1, Society. There we have a subtopic, Indian society, and also in social justice of GS2 also it is important. Recharging groundwater by water harvesting measures. This article explains about author giving the suggestions, or you can say to recharge the groundwater. Author gives us an idea about how groundwater is important. It is well noted that 80% of village water consumption comes from groundwater. Today, 50% of Indian agriculture even depend on groundwater. All the urban areas are dependent on groundwater. However, we need to understand the reality also. According to Niti Aayog Composite Water Management Index 2018, major cities in India are going to end the groundwater resources soon. Can be seen in Hyderabad and Chennai, where some areas doesn't get water properly also. Here others suggesting some measures. There are ways to increase the groundwater. For example, we need to enhance the small dams or traditional water practices in villages. For example, Bori Bhandas, Nadis, and if we call it as Cheru. All these things can be helpful. We can also include MG Narega in water harvesting methods. In that manner, we can enhance the groundwater availability. It is not a sufficient article, but I request you to read the article for better clarity. In the coming days, if it is possible, we will do a separate session on groundwater management challenges and also its suggestions. Finally, there is an article talking about why are talks on 1.5 at a cliff edge at COP27. Try to understand that COP27 meetings are right now going in Egypt. City Sharm el Sheikh, in which United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change conducting its COP27 meeting. 1.5 degrees is one of the debate which is brought by IPCC in one of its assessment reports. For this 1.5 reports, countries are to fix this temperature at 1.5 degrees, countries are allowed to open their national determined contributions, intended national determined contributions, and very recently NCQG, that is new collective quantified goal on climate financing. So these are the things which are talking about fixing 1.5 degrees. However, unfortunately, countries are not coming together. You know very well that countries, particularly the developed countries, need support in terms of technology and financing new renewable technologies. Let us wait and watch for the next developments in this session. Thank you so much and Jai Hind.